All right, I got a video here for Scott C for adding the extra wires for the sun sensor to that 24 pin style connector like this that's going to be just below and behind the radio at the HVAC panel. This is going to have the factory connector and factory wires before the conversion is done. And it's going to go up to the sun sensor connector that is going to look like this here. He's missing 2 wires on each end. So Scott, here's your harness, HVAC connector, and here's the 2 wires. Now if you look at the back of this thing, I've kind of marked this 24 pin 24 looking at it. If you look, if I get this close enough and the lighting just right, you can see up in the opposed corner here, there's 12, and up in this corner here, the lighting's just right. That's going to be pin 1, and this is going to be 13 down here in this corner. We almost got it. There it is. All right, so when you get the connector in the truck, here's the pin lock across the bottom edge here. That's got to be popped up into the raised position so you can get pins in and out of this. And there's a little lip here you've got to use to push this up, and it'll end up, you can see this raised up right here, and that'll allow you to get the pins in. Won't allow you to get them out easily without going in through the front with the release tool, but you'll have to get this up to the release position to put the pin in there. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to come in on this connector, and there's a little lip you're going to feel with a jeweler's screwdriver. And you got to just kind of raise it, try to work this up a little bit. And there's even grab points they want you to use, and there's little gaps here you can get up under the edge. You can kind of see them there, and you can come in with your jeweler's screwdriver and kind of snag it and help lift this block up some. And then you flip it around the other side, and you want to push this up. And it's much harder to do when the pins are actually in it than not like this. But you got to get this up to this release position by grabbing this edge here. You can see them now. You can just kind of grab the edge with this small jeweler to help lift it up some and work it from both sides. This is going to be much harder to do in the truck, you know, with the radio and the bezel out, but that's what you got to do. And these pins are labeled for the extra sun sensor wires at 20 and 21. In this case, I've got, you know, here's pin 24 marked, 23, 22, 21, and 20. So in this case, just slide the pin in. Oh, I gotta flip it over. This, if you look at the pin, you can kind of see this little lit guide edge sticking up higher than the pin itself. And that's got to go in this way on the connector. So you slide that one in 20. Nope, there's 20 because I flipped it upside down. And you slide 21 in here. There should be other wires in some of these other pins to the right and left, but 20 and 21 should be open. So you'll slide them all the way in until they lock. You'll hear it click. And then once that's in, I'm going to take this out because I don't want to fight these pins to get them out later. But once that's in, you just push that down, and that locks the pins in so they can't get pulled out. And that'll take care of that connector end. Now on the other end, you're going to have the sun sensor side. And the other 2 pins marked for pins 2 and 3, which are the middle connector here. And even if you look real close, you can see there's pins 1, 2, 3, and 4 marked. Let me see if I can get this zoom in. Yep. There you go. There's pin 1 towards this guide tab. This should be the same connector for the sun sensor up top. Now the catch here is, we'll roll this over. Here's your pin lock. That's going to be pushed down like that and locked in for the pins. So you're going to have to come in here with the jeweler's screwdriver and try to just try and get you a good view. Just try to pop this thing up and rotate it up out of the edge from both sides to this release position like this. And you have to be careful and put any force popping it up on this edge, because this back edge where it hinges up is very brittle, and I've broken a couple of these trying to get them back out. So be careful with that. If that's the case, you may have to do something to lock that back down. But once you've got it, you can see your pin numbers. Basically just line up pin 2 and 3 in here. Keep in mind pin 1 is closest to this tab. So I'm coming in on the back connector here. You just slide that into 1. And then slide the other one into 2. Like that. That'll get you a half decent view here. There you go. And then lock the pin lock back down once they're in there. Well, that should do it. Good luck. The hardest thing is going to be getting the harness routed up in there to add these 2 wires.